How do I go about acquiring land? And what's a PTO? In this video, we're going to talk about the process of acquiring land in South Africa. I know that for many of us, acquiring land can feel like an overwhelming task, especially when it's in a rural area where things are a little different from what we're used to. But don't worry, in this video, I'm going to break down the step-by-step process of acquiring land in rural South Africa, from understanding the types of land to dealing with the tribal office and obtaining the PTO. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found your way to this video. If you watched my first two videos, you know that I'm in the planning stages of building a home for me and my child. And today I'm diving into another important step of this process, acquiring land. So stay tuned, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. You may be familiar with the process of buying land in urban areas, where the process is between buyer and seller and often through a real estate agent or a private sale. This transaction is documented and registered with the deeds office, which then issues the buyer with a title deed proving ownership. This is the conventional process that most people are familiar with. In the rural areas, this is a totally different story. In rural South Africa, most land is governed by a tribal authority or a traditional council. The tribal authority manages the communal land and decides who can occupy it. This means instead of buying land outright, you will apply for what is called a permission to occupy, which grants you the right to occupy and use the land for residential or agricultural purposes. This is because in rural areas, land is not bought in the conventional sense. Before you approach the tribal office, it's important to be clear about the purpose you want to use the land for. Whether you're planning to build your family home, start a small farm, set up a business, or develop a recreational space, it's important to know what you want to use the land for. This is because the tribal office will want to know your intentions for the land. It's also important to know the size of the land that you want, because they'll also ask you about the size of the plot that you want. Is it a 25 by 25, a 30 by 30 meter plot, a 35 by 35, or a 40 by 40 meter plot? You need to be familiar with how big these sizes are. Once you're clear on the purpose you want to use the land for, you can then approach the tribal office in the area that you're interested in. They will provide you with the necessary information about the available land in that area and explain the requirements for applying for a PTO. They will also show you the available land that matches your needs. This is your chance then to see the land. It's important here to take time and make sure you check the land's accessibility. It's also the time to ask as many questions as possible about the land, including whether there are any disputes over ownership. You can then choose the plot of land that is suitable for you. And once you're satisfied with your choice, the next step is to apply for that PTO. The PTO is essentially a long-term lease that grants you the right to live on the land and use it for personal or agricultural purposes. This lease period is typically around 30 to 99 years and is often renewable. When you submit an application for a PTO through the tribal office. They'll ask you for your ID and sometimes your proof of residence. They will give you the form you will use to apply. You may pay a small fee. This fee is around 100 Rand to about 500 Rand for the application process, depending on the area. In some places, the tribal office may charge an annual land rental fee for the use of the land, especially if it is intended for residential or agricultural purposes, right? This fee is payable yearly and ensures that you retain the right to occupy that land. So this fee could range around 50 Rand to maybe 500 Rand per year, depending on the size of the land and the location. The process may be as simple as I explained it, but in some communities, you may be required to do a ceremony as part of acquiring the land. I'll insert a video about that here.
Hi guys, so in this video I wanna just do a quick explanation on the process of purchasing land in rural KZN and the process that we went through. So let me say the process that I have learned of personally, because someone might have a different experience, but generally what has been explained and what I've experienced, it's the same, but there are some differences when you are locally from that particular place and then when you are coming from outside. The procedure is the same, but there's, in terms of the price that you pay is different, and not for the land. I'll come to that. So you either buying directly from the chief, the nduna. So you have nduna, you have a king. So the nduna is the one mostly that you would be seeing in these processes of buying land where there's a ceremony done. So that's the part I will come to. So you see land, maybe the land is being sold by the king, and the chief will in most cases be the one that is showing people, this is the land, this is how much the land is, and this is what we're gonna need from you. So then there's also a situation where you will be buying the land from an individual. So when you're buying from an individual, you and the person will agree that, okay, this is how much I want, the seller, this is how much I want for my land, and my land starts from here, it ends there. And then you pay each other. Maybe you do an affidavit at the police station, you make copies of deposits and all of that. You agree, everything's good. It doesn't end there. You're not done. The land is not officially yours yet. Then the person who sold you the land is gonna go and tell the nduna that, okay, I've sold my land to so and so, and they would like ukubekwa. So the person goes to the nduna, lets them know, okay, so I've sold my land, and then this person is ready ukubekwa. So when you're being begwad, they give you a list of things that you need to buy. Gonna buy alcohol, and they specify what alcohol to buy. Because there's a bottle for the king, there's a bottle for the chief, there's a case of alcohol, like beer, it's normal beer. But the bottle for the king and the nduna is not normal. It's expensive. You buy them. You buy them proper stuff. They tell you what to buy, the brands. And then, so the case is for the community, and then bottles of soft drinks. And in other places, you also buy bread. In other places, you make it dombolo or dumpling, or steamed bread, yeah. And then in some places, you don't buy meat, but in some places, you also are required to buy meat. And also in most cases you are not allowed to start building until this process has taken place. So you choose a day. On this specific day I will be ready, please come, I will have all those things ready, and you have to be the one to serve. You're serving everybody. You're extending yourself to the community, and they are welcoming you. Now you are becoming one of them. Nice and short. You bring everything, everyone eats, everyone is happy, you get your receipt, or you pay a certain amount of money. So okay, there's those things that you buy, and then they tell you, okay, so this is how much you are gonna pay. So but if you are a local, you were born from here, you grew up here, you only pay that amount, a certain amount, for or whatever is specific to the nduna. You don't pay anything to the king, but we had to pay the nduna, we had to pay the king as well. That's just how it's done everywhere. Where I've gone, where I've talked to people, that's what, if you're a local, you pay a different amount. I think that the process is actually more of it's forming relationships, because it's very different. And I think that you really get the sense of, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes, your neighbor is your neighbor. They're not your neighbor because you find yourself living next door to them, or opposite them. They are your neighbor. They want to know, are you okay? I mean, so those kind of ceremonies are awesome. I don't know. You're building relations. I guess that's the direct translation, of you're building relations. And yeah, that's fun. So yeah.
Once your PTO is approved, you are then a recognized landholder and are ready to occupy the land. If the area has been zoned by the local municipality, you can apply to have water and electricity installed on your piece of land. I'll include a list of tribal offices across South Africa. These will be your primary point of contact when you're looking for land in rural areas. This list is just a few examples of the tribal offices. There are many. Keep in mind that the specific tribal office you need to visit will depend on where the land you're interested in is located. And make sure to contact the relevant office ahead of time to confirm the process and gather all the necessary documents that they may require. So to summarize, acquiring land in rural South Africa involves understanding the types of land you're looking for, selecting the area that fits your needs, defining the purpose of the land, and applying to the tribal office to obtain a PTO. You can successfully acquire land and start the exciting process of building your home. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has helped you understand the process of acquiring land, especially in rural areas, and how you can work with the tribal office to secure a piece of land for your new home. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to design your floor plan for free online. So join me for that. If you have anything to share, please comment down below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on the next video. Thank you so much again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.